So, hello there. We are back with some SOR action. Today it's time for France. We are going into the French Grand Prix. It seems like we have 18 drivers so far. I think a couple of minutes ago we were 19.
Hello there.
We are back with some SOR action.
I don't want to hear myself.
It's time for... Sorry, I forgot to mute the stream. My bad. Now I needed to tap out. I hope this will not have any impact on the lobby. So yeah, as usual, some big professionalism there for me. I hope you don't expect anything less. So, where was I? Yes, we have 18 drivers and we're going now into the ready up phase. As I said before, I'm a bit confused because we were 19 at some point, but I guess someone decided not to race, so yeah, 18 it is. We have the usual drivers you might already know from the previous Spanish Grand Prix. I think for now I don't see any new names there, but I will look over it in a second when the game has loaded and the drivers are ready to go into the qualifying. And it looks really dark, so there might be a chance of rain here. It seems like the cars have soft tires or dry tires on them for now. It might be a graphical bug, but I don't see any rain as well, so I believe it's dry for now, but I have no information about the weather so far, so maybe it will not stay dry, which would spice things up a bit. So let's see how the weather develops. No one is on track so far, so we can look at the driver list. So we have the usual drivers. We have Jack back in the lobby. We have Paldi, who was, I believe, also not there in the Spanish Grand Prix, but already raced with the SOR League. Then we have a lot of drivers we've seen already last race. Yeah, that's basically it. So, yeah. You might know most of them and know what these guys are capable of. We had quite a surprising result at the Spanish Grand Prix, so I expect it to be the same here. At least it would be favorable for, you know, the Drivers' Championship. But yeah, we'll see. So Phoenix, our championship leader, is one of the first drivers going on track here. As well as, I believe it must be Droppy or Hazy? No, it's Hazy, who is right behind him. They're both on soft tires, so there is no rain yet. And it seems like it's gonna be a soft medium or even soft hard strategy here for those two at least. We have, by the way, KK Hunter also streaming this race, so if you wish you can watch him as well, parallel to this stream obviously, not as an exchange, I hope at least. Yeah, just get affiliate, I believe yesterday, so congratulations to him. But the main action will happen here, so don't go too far away and we will see what happens. Phoenix is, by the way, on the mediums, so I was a bit lying there, I'm sorry for this. And Hazy stays pretty close to him, which I don't really understand, but I guess those guys know what they're doing. And again, I have the bug with the onboard camera, which shows to the back of the car. So I guess no onboard cameras for you today. And funny thing, Futuristic is on an outlap on intermediates. So what is this about? I guess it's a bit too wet for him, it seems. We will see if he will be faster than the guys on the dry tires. I highly doubt that. Like, the track doesn't look wet at all. There is no water, you know, sprinkling around when the cars drive by. So, yeah, it doesn't feel right. But, I mean, maybe it's worth trying. Maybe he can do something good with it. We will see. So Phoenix is now on the half of his lap. Now going through this beautiful chicane. Pretty challenging to drive. It's a really hard braking zone. You have to trail brake a lot into the left-hander, cut across the curb without getting invalidated, obviously, and then you have to accelerate as quickly as possible for the second part of the straight. So a very challenging sector there. Now we are in sector 3, going through this long left-hander with a very late ABS. Ooh, and he lost the back end there a bit. This will hurt his time for sure. And what will it be? Now DRS open, he's going through the start finish line, and it's a 129.1 and has these 4 tenths behind him, and that on these soft tires. So this is quite surprising. But yeah, I mean, Phoenix is a quick guy, we all know that. Let's see what the others can do. So especially futuristic, okay, he invalidated already, so there is no useful data from his intermediate tires. But if I see the Ferrari coming towards him, he seems to be way slower than the guys on the dry tires. So definitely a bad decision here. Dropping made a 128.4. Unfortunately I missed it, but he's the quickest man on track so far. But on the soft tires, Miko 3 tenths behind on P2 currently. Is Pixel on track? Pixel is on track, but he invalidated, so the man currently being second in the championship will not set a time so far. We have now here the Ferrari of KG Hunter, who did a really good qualifying in the Spain Grand Prix on the mediums. It's now running on the softs through the last corners. Now you're trying to get an as early exit as possible. DRS open. Oh, he forgot the DRS. I don't know if it's a visual bug, but I think he forgot the DRS, but he's 4 seconds behind, so it was not a good lap anyway. Pixel is still on his invalidated lap. We have Anchor on track on medium tires. So he's one of the 3 guys who decided to start with the mediums. He's now going through this wide right-hander in the last sector. Went a bit wide there from what I could see, but oh my god, oh, the mediums seem to have really little traction there in the third sector. Phoenix as well as Anchor both lost the back end there, so seems to be a really slippery part of the track. And there he had some back end issues again, and we have here a terrible camera view on Anchor, who was going through the start finish line. He is currently second medium runner, but 1.7 seconds behind Phoenix, which is obviously a lot. So I guess he will have the need to improve on that time. What else do we have? So Futuristic went back into the pits on his intermediates. He agreed that this was a bad decision. We have Pixel now on actually on a hot lap, so without an invalidation so far. As I said, second in the championship, so definitely a driver to watch. Going now into what I believe is the beginning of Sector 3. Looks really good so far, really grounded the car. He's currently on the soft tire compound. So whatever time he does, it will be not quite representative to Phoenix's. And for whatever reason, we see a McLaren in the garage. Now we're back to Pixel, looking at him going into the last corner. Oh, he went really wide there and invalidates, and this is his lap over. So he risked a bit too much there and doesn't get his lap finished yet. His teammate Jack is now on the last corner as well, the second Mercedes, and he left the session. That's unfortunate. I will invite him quickly, so hang on a second. If I can invite him, I can invite him. That's great. Okay, so back to the action on track. So who's currently driving? We have the Droppy with a new fastest... Oh no, I think it was a bug. It was not a new fastest lap, so sorry for that. And something is happening. So Futuristic now decided to do better. He is now on the soft compound tires, but he invalidated his lap, so we just move on to someone else. For example, Hazy, who is now on a fast lap on the medium tire compound. So he was on the softs before. He did a 129.5, 0.6, something like that. And now he tries on the medium compound, which is kind of surprising, because normally you're slower on the mediums than you are on the softs. So either he did a very bad lap, or he is just practicing a bit and trying to learn the track a bit more, to look what he can do, where he can improve. Lap looks pretty good so far. As we've seen, the mediums are not that grippy as the soft tires, which is understandable. This is how the tires work. And still, they doesn't, like, yeah, okay, they are way slower. Like, I mean, if even the Phoenix is 7/10 behind the pole time, it means something. So I guess the mediums are a big disadvantage here on the hunt for the fastest lap. So the drivers have to give a little of thought if it's really worth it starting further at the back with a, well, maybe better strategy, or they want to go for the soft compound tires and do the best laps possible. Meanwhile, Hazy is going over the start-finish line, and I think that means he did not improve, or the game was lying to me and he was in an outlap. I think it's the second possibility, because right now he's using ERS mode 2, which is the hot lap mode. That means he's right now only going on his fast lap. And meanwhile, Miku gained the fastest lap with a 128 point, well, let's say 4. And let's see if Droppy can get back on the Toro Rosso. Yeah, it must be Toro Rosso. No, it's actually Red Bull, sorry. There is no Toro Rosso anymore, my bad. If he can get back on the Red Bull driver, he's currently less than 1/10 behind and is running now on fresh soft tires, going into the last sector. One of the quickest guys here on track. So far it looks good. Now he has to watch out to not go too early in the throttle. He manages that well. Now the last couple of corners, and then we will see whether or not he reclaims his pole position. Oh, that was a bit wide for the last corner. I hope he didn't lose too much time there. And now he's going over the line to reclaim the pole position. It's a 128.248. So really good lap here. Hazy, meanwhile, we've seen him in the back, is not improving as far as it seems. He stays in 7th position. I believe it's still his soft time. So no advantage from the mediums for him so far. We have Phoenix running on fresh soft tires as well. So he decided to not stay on the mediums because, well, probably the tire is just too slow currently. Now he'll go over the line, and will it be the current pole position for him? It is. It's a 127.998. It's the first under 28 time of the session. So yeah, we have the championship leader back in first position, where he probably wants to be. Fox, what can Fox do? Fox, a little bit of a surprising candidate for P2 in the Grand Prix of Spain. A very good race from him back then, and now he's running in 10th on the medium tires, so he is currently the 3rd fastest medium runner after Maple did a pretty quick time. Let's see, it's a 129.4 on the medium tires, so 7th position on the mediums, pretty impressive, not gonna lie, so he will be happy about that. Who else could we watch? What is Pixel doing? Pixel is running still on mediums. So yeah, kind of a reverse strategy trial, I guess, on the side of the Mercedes pit crew. And he's now going into those beautiful last turns into the 3rd sector. I think like it looks really idyllic, this track. I mean, there are different opinions about driving it. Some people love it, like me for example. Some people hate it. But I think the track overall looks really beautiful. Like those long turns with really demanding late apexes, and you know, just trying to maintain your grip, especially in wet conditions. I think it's really beautiful to watch. As well as it's beautiful to watch Pixel going on 6th position with a 129.39 on medium tires, so he's currently the new fastest medium runner in this lobby. Now he's only on 7th because I believe it's Maple who did an even quicker lap, so the 2nd hot lap in a row on the medium tires, and he's now running 5th with a 128.7, and now he retires on track, which is not quite what we want to see, but well, I mean, as long as he doesn't bother any cars on track, should be fine. We hope this is the case. Pixel also retiring in the middle of the track. So I'm not sure what's currently happening. Maybe it's a visual bug and the qualifying time is already over, which I don't believe because people are still getting out of the pits. So yeah, I'm a bit confused, but okay. I guess no one is complaining so far. We switch to KK Hunter as he's the only driver on a hot lap. At least the game says that, but he's in ERS mode 0. So this is again a big lie. Therefore we're going to Miku. What can he do? So he is currently in P3. Very good time from him so far. So yeah, I don't quite remember his overall pace, but I think it's yeah, a pretty good result for him if he can start here from 3rd position. But maybe he can even improve. He's now going into the tricky last sector we talked about a couple of times already. And he only needs to improve by, well, about, let's say, 160 thousandths or 16 100ths of a second to get on P2 and start from the front row with Phoenix. Oh, but this is not gonna be the lap that helps him because he spins out and with style he goes back into the pits. Now we're on board with Collini. Collini is currently running in P12, which is like not the worst position, you know. If you're in the midfield and you don't have any ambitions to get higher up, like in the top 5, P12 isn't that bad. I mean, you get fresh tires, you can start in the middle of the field, like, you know, just watch a bit, trying to get through the various accidents. Ooh, and speaking of accidents, that was a really wide line. The game doesn't invalidate his lap, but it's not gonna be a good one, and he can't improve on his lap time. We have KK Hunter going over the last corner on medium tires, on really old medium tires as well, and he can improve, but he's only on P15. So I'm not quite sure why he was forcing the medium tires there, but yeah, I guess it's some kind of strategy, so let's see if it pays out in the race. We have now Darius, who is going through the first, or I believe now it's the second sector, so we leave him alone for now. We have Angkor and Jack, who didn't set a time yet, is now on soft, fresh tires, going over the start-finish line, and where will he end up? Oh, it's P7, so he is now in the top 10 on soft tires. Pretty good time from him. Let's switch to futuristic because he's going on over the start-finish line as well soon. Why is everyone retiring on the track? What is happening? And now futuristic can only improve by 1 position, so he will not be happy with that, I believe. So who's going to the start-finish line? It will be Darius. Darius is now soft compound tires. It's his last timed lap and he can not improve. Unfortunately, stays in P6. Panikoi is the next one to cross the start-finish line. It's the last sector he's now going through. He's currently in P4. He needs to improve by around 3/10 to get 1 position up, so this is obviously a lot. Can he do it? No, he can't. He stays in a 4th position. Droppy cannot improve as well, so... Or did he? I'm not sure. I think he did not. Anyway, it's a P2 for him, so no change there. We have the... Okay, the car of Jack already crossed the start-finish line. Okay, so basically I think we're done, right? No, it's Phoenix. It's the pole setter who is going yet again over the start-finish line to improve even more, maybe, and he does. It's a 1:27.68. Amazing time there, so he makes it very clear that he belongs on that 1st position in the qualifying. So now you have here your end results. We have Phoenix, the championship leader, with a 1:27.6 on pole position. Droppy complete 5/10 behind on P2, closing up the front row. We have the Romanian second row with Miko and Panikoi very close to each other, 7/10 behind the pole. We have Maple, the first medium runner, in a great 5th position, so let's see what he can do with that reverse strategy. We have Darius on P6 or 1:28.9. Then the first 29 runner is Jack in P7. We have Polly in P8, Pixel in P9 on mediums, and Hazy on mediums as well on P10. So, a very interesting top 10. We have 3 guys who are on medium tires. Let's see what they can do out of this advantage, maybe disadvantage, we don't know. We also don't know how the weather will be, so yeah, it looks shiny, like doesn't look like rain, but who knows, it can change. So maybe also the medium runners had you know, the weather changes in mind and just prepared for a future tire changes, future strategy adjustments, you know, all those things. Well, it was a pretty interesting qualifying. Not many, you know, position changes, but it was really strategical. So a couple of fast drivers starting further from the back suffered yeah, a little bit of a position loss in favor of possible strategy advantages. Yeah, I don't know. If it is, if it isn't, it's not on me to decide. The drivers will show whether or not it was worth it. So we're now going on the formation lap. Here you see the tires the guys chose for starting the race on. We have in the top 10, as they cannot change the same tires as they did the qualifying laps on. We have, as I already mentioned, 3 guys on mediums and 7 guys on the soft compound tires. The best position from those is probably Phoenix and Maple, as they are the first guys in the top 10 on their tire compound. So those are definitely the drivers to watch for this race. Then outside the top 10 we have only one driver on the soft compound tires. It's Lapson from the 18th position, so he wants to make up as many positions as possible in the opening stages. All the other are running mediums. It's only Futuristic who's on the hard compound tire, so he wants to go a very long distance here and maybe get some positions by doing so. It's interesting, so we will see. We have a couple of fast drivers with Fox and KK Hunter, for example, from 16-17, starting from the back. And I just realized I really need to pee, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm sorry for the interruption, it was really urgent. So yeah, I'm here now and I'm prepared, and I will stay for the complete race as the drivers take their positions on the starting grid. And now we have a lot of red lights and soon they will go off and the race will start, and this happens right now. A bad start from Phoenix, a really good start from Droppy. Can he get past already before the first corner? He has the outside line. They're going side by side in turn 1 and Phoenix gets spun. Phoenix gets spun. So this is a yellow flag and a huge position loss for him. There was some contact. I'm not sure whether or not enough space were given. The two Mercedes are fighting with each other, almost hitting Maple in the back. He fell down one position on P5. Peldy, I believe, made one position up. So a good start from him. Oh, he made even 4 positions up. Okay, that's a lot. Darius lost 2 positions for some reason. We have Anchor running in last position, so also probably there was some contact on his side. We have Kalini and Futuristic trading places. Futuristic getting an overtake on those hard tires, which is already impressive enough. We have R10 now trying to go by on the right side and does so. So Colini is now overtaken and he also leaves the session, so there might be some connection issue on his side. And we have Hezi going on the inside of Darius going into PA. Darius tries to go 40, switch back and they collide, they touch. Darius almost loses his back end and Phoenix also lost his back end. I don't know why, but he spun again. Maybe his tires are overheating or something. He's currently running in last position. Someone is going into the pits. I think it's Darius going already into the pit lane. He might have damage. Droppy, of course, fastest lap because he's running in first. So no one else seems to be pitting. Yes, no one else is pitting. So I am really happy that no one seems to have damage so far. KK Hunter goes by his teammate Colini because this one is disconnected. So not a really impressive overtake, but still probably worth to mention. Now the track kinda balances out a bit. We have a less than 1 second gap between most of the drivers. So they are still in reach of each other, but we have some bit of, you know, silence and calmness now in between the cars. This track is really known for having a bad dirty air issues, so this could influence the drivers by following others in the train. So what you want to, basically what you want to do is hold on behind the other cars because the DRS is very huge. KK Hunter span out in the chicane, so something happened there definitely. We have Hezi, who I believe overtook Jack right now. I might be mistaken, but I believe I saw something in the side of my, you know, my vision. And we have Pixel running very close to Maple. Pixel and Maple both on mediums, which they used in the qualifying. So they have both the same attributes or the same, you know, tires to walk with. So it's gonna be interesting to see who can catch the other guy's pace. Fox running only 3/10 behind R10. He's on medium tires, but on fresh medium tires as he started outside of the top 10. Maybe he can even go higher up. And the Maple Pixel Hazy train is now catching up on Paldi. So we see now the position changes from the start. We have Droppy who gained P1. Well, maybe a bit lucky or even unfair, I don't know. We have to see through this incident into turn 1. We have Pandikoi who's running into a great P2, gained 2 positions from the start. We have Miku who at least maintained his position. We have Paldi running in a P4 and gained 4 positions. So from P8 onto P4, wonderful start for him. Maple didn't improve, Pixel did by 3 positions, so did Hazy. As Hazy is getting a bit of a cheer in the chat. Very nice, very nice to see that someone is cheering for the drivers. I think they will be happy as well if they reach the stream after. We have Jack who lost 1 position, unfortunately for him. Futuristic gained 3 positions, still Futuristic running only hard compound tires, so it's also interesting what he will be able to do with it. R10 gained 5 positions, so did Fox. And we have an overtake, which I am missing because the game doesn't let me to switch drivers, from Futuristic on the outside of Jack. Jack almost running back on him and someone spins out. It's R10 who just spun out by himself. Oh my god, so this will be a really infuriating moment for R10. He was running in a very good position, then he just spins out of track and goes back to P15, maybe even having damage. But we are now getting to another duel. It's Maple on medium tires going onto the inside, and Paldi is trying to get the overtake back, switches to the inside himself, but can't outbrake Maple, although he has the better tires, and now he is just at the back of Maple's rear wing. Pixel is lurking behind those two, waiting for some damage. Something broke there. I think it was a brake marker, and now is Paldi going onto the outside on fresh and soft tires. Oh, Maple almost spins, so I think there was some contact, and this allows Pixel to get closer on him, and Paldi gets back into P4. So it was a very bold move from Paldi going there back onto the outside using his tires. We have Jack and Fox, I believe, battling it out, and Jack is going into the pit lane, so he might have damage. We have Pandikoi and Miku switching positions, but only because Pandikoi is going into the pits, so his tires might be done, and Phoenix spun again, so this race is going from bad to worse for our championship leader here. And Maple is not done yet. He's still running within a 3/10 gap of Paldi, and DRS is enabled for quite some time now. Phoenix is surrendering. He's retiring his car into the pit lane, so there will be no points for him in the championship today. Now Maple, Pixel and as well Hazy are opening their DRSs, and what is this camera angle game? What is happening? Maple overtakes Paldi, Paldi tries to get back. It's almost a deja vu from the last lap, but this time Maple seems to have secured the position, at least for now, but the S's we were going into side by side last lap are still up to come. Let's see if Paldi can maintain the speed he needs. No, he can't, so this is a position gain for Maple, and Maple is now in P3 while Paldi is back into P4. So now it's interesting to see what Pixel will do. Pixel is close behind them still, but he's lurking, not going for the move. Really surprising. Pixel is known more as an, a bit of an aggressive driver who's more going for the overtakes and wants to get track position. But he will do so now. Probably he's trying to go for the move. He got a very good exit. They both have DRS. Pixel is now on the inside, so we take a better line, pushing Paulie a bit off the track. And Paulie spins. Paulie spins, the second Renault spinning in the same corner already. And there is a yellow flag in the first sector. I think it's because Anko retired. But what is it with the Renault spinning into this corner? Oh my god. So this is really unfortunately for Paulie as well. Good race so far. But now he is back into 12th position and back into no man's land. And yeah, this is a really hard sport. If you fail it completely. KK Hunter passes Lepson, who's going really wide there, might have even get a warning, but still can't carry the speed to defend his position. So it's KK Hunter up in 9, while Lepson is down into P10. Maple, meanwhile, could create a 1.2 second gap to Pixel. However, he did that on the same tire compound and the same wear. So he seems to be legitimately faster than the Mercedes driver who's running behind him. But Hazy is now behind Pixel, so this will be a fight that will help Maple even more. The race winner from Spain, as you might remember, so he might have still a word to say in the Drivers' Championship so far. He seems to be really quick here, and I'm really excited to see what he can do. We have now Miko going into the pits and Droppy as well, so the two leading positions are going into the pits now, and it will be interesting to see where they come out, and I can't decide what to show you. Let's go with the tires probably. So Droppy is coming out in P10, right in front of Collini and right behind of Lepson and R10, who are fighting for position. So this is a really bad place for him to come back on track. He has to overtake two fighting cars, and if he can't do that quickly, he will lose time in the fight for P1. Miko himself got a 3-second time penalty, so this doesn't help him either in the fight against Droppy. Interesting to see that Droppy is on the hard tires and Miko is on the soft tires, so different strategies there. Droppy is going on the inside of laps, and this was an easy overtake. You see just the pace difference, so it is one car passed for him, one obstacle to go, and then he has some clean air towards KK Hunter. Back to the front, we have Hazy still chasing Pixel, but Pixel coming back on Maple. So Pixel gained a bit of time towards the Force India or Racing Point, or I mean, honestly, no one knows what it's called anymore. Anyway, there is a bit of a change of an interval, but he can't get into the DRS window. Meanwhile, Hazy has DRS, so Hazy has the wonderful opportunity to save some ERS. I'm sorry I didn't show you the telemetry, obviously a mistake by me, so this is sorted out now. We have some position changes in the back. I'm not sure why. I think Pandikoy made a mistake because he's not in the pits and he lost 1 or 2 positions. So something might have happened there at the back of the grid. We have Skin Tony pitting. No, sorry, it's Lepson pitting, my bad. And falling down the order towards P16, but he's on hard compound tires, so there might be still a bit of a chance for points for him. So the closest fight right now is Pandikoy running right behind R10. And we have now a long DRS straight coming up. And this should be an easy overtake for him. He got a very good exit, he got the DRS assistance, and he seems to be quicker overall. And all of this makes this overtake look easy. Probably it was as well easy, and now he's back into 9th position. So, the track has calmed down a bit. So the first stops have happened. We have some different strategies running at the same time here. So yeah, the drivers are a bit split up. We have a couple of overtakes here and there, but yeah, it seems to be more of a strategy race as for now. Drivers are trying to save the tires, driving just to do their race, not doing any mistakes. Speaking of which, drivers Darius got past Skin Tony, who is disconnected. So I think that was a pretty easy pass. Skin Tony seems to have real connection issues today. Miko with a near fastest lap. Okay, he's on soft tires, but still really impressive. Seems to be really quick, and he might go here for an overtake on R10. And yes, he does it, and it looks also pretty easy. So he has some serious pace here today. We have yellow flags because Paldi retired in the pit lane. Really unfortunate for him. Looked really good from the beginning, but unfortunately this spin costed him a lot, and now it costed him even the complete race. And yeah, we have still the group of 3 people running the same strategy in the front with Maple, Pixel and Hezi, all very quick drivers. And currently Pixel seems to be the slowest because he loses time towards Maple and also towards Hezi behind him. So yeah, seems to be going through some issues. Maybe it's tires, maybe it's fuel, maybe he's just saving, I don't know. But definitely not the strong pace we know from him from the first races we might expect. But we will see in the long run. Maybe it pays out, maybe, yeah, you know, it's all planned and all going his way, we just don't know yet. Anyway, for now, he somehow manages to stay behind Hezi. So this is already some kind of achievement. Hezi, also known as one of the quicker drivers of this league, and running the same strategy and having DRS on those long DRS straights on this track, it's yeah, kind of a hard task to keep someone behind who is like that. KK Hunter loses a place against Pandico and defends really aggressively against Miku, who is not even fighting him for position. Obviously Miko goes by being the fastest man on track currently and having the soft compound tires. So they lost both a bit of time there, but I guess they had also fun, so they should be fine. Miko now into P9, and now he opens the little window into the rear wing, going by Pandico as well, and P8 it is. So he's catching up to Droppy big time. Only 1.4 seconds left. On the other side, Droppy has the hard compound tires, while Miko has the soft compound tires. So I really think Droppy is not planning to go into the pits one more time. Obviously, if nothing urgent happens or unexpected. Meanwhile, Miko will definitely have to pit one more time. So different strategies here. We'll see which will pay out in the end. At least Miko is giving us some great action here with the overtakes, and Pixel is now pitting, which was quite to expect. He seemed to run in a bit of trouble with his tires over the last laps. He was losing a lot of time, as I already mentioned. So now he's changing them and releases himself to better driving conditions on the hard compound tires. So obviously he's trying to get till the end as well. Fox meanwhile caught up to Futuristic. Futuristic running in a very good third position on hard compound tires, so this is yeah, very impressive. Kinda can keep up with the front runners, or with the current front runners. Obviously they didn't pit yet, but Fox is now into the race window, got closer to 4/10 gap, and yeah, slowly but steadily coming closer. Might be able to overtake over the next laps, we don't know. And Miko and Pandico are still fighting, so Pandico can apparently give a little bit of a fight to the Red Bull driver, who is maybe even a contender for the race win. But the DRS, as I mentioned, very powerful, very mighty on this long straight, and then help Pandico to get by and get P7 back here. So also very well done, very nice to see a bit of battling, you know. Not only getting by each other, and has he got a 5-second time penalty, very unfortunate for him in the fight for the top positions. He and Maple now into the pit lane, which makes Futuristic taking over the net race lead. And Maple and Hezi both on the hard compound tires, so they are running the safe medium hard strategy towards the end. And Droppy reclaims, so yeah, I believe he reclaims the lead of the race. He's only 7.4 seconds behind P2 and 8.4 8.2 seconds, 8.4 seconds behind P1. Both have to pit. They both will definitely lose more than that time in the pit lane. So I believe Droppy doesn't have to pit anymore. He's now, yeah, legitimately the leader of the race. What does Miku do? Miku has a time penalty and he's still for some reason stuck with Pandikoi, so I'm not sure if the softs are just falling apart that quickly or he's lacking of ERS. No, he's not. He's at 48%, so not quite sure why he's still stuck behind the McLaren with medium compound tires. But yeah, seems to struggle a bit. That helps Droppy obviously a lot, so he will be happy about the help from the McLaren team. And continues to do his race and his chase for the top positions. Very strong driver, very glad he joined the league and gives us some more action here for the fight for the race win and the podium positions. Fox meanwhile got a pretty bad exit as far as I could see. No chance there to overtake Futuristic on a start finish line. Maybe he didn't even want to, we don't know. Fox a bit of a mystery at any race. He's having pretty weird, pretty unexpected strategies and then coming out at front many times. Sometimes also just completely losing the race, you know, just getting a puncture. I remember Azerbaijan last season where he overdrove his tires quite a bit. But I mean, you know, you better try and lose than not trying at all, so big respect there for the man in the Red Bull. Miku, how is it going? Will we try another time to get past Pandikoi before the soft tires completely fall apart and end their lifetime? He is trying, but it doesn't seem now he is not close enough. So again, no chance there. And we have Hazy and Maple just behind each other. So what happened there? Maple must have lost somehow 2.4 seconds in the pit lane. Pandikoi is now passed by Miku, but we stay with the group here because they're all running the same strategy, and you remember that Maple had around 1.6 second gap towards Pixel and around a 2.4 seconds gap on Hazy. And by going into the pits earlier, Pixel lost out, so he is now behind Hazy for some reason, despite the undercut, and Maple lost around 2.4 seconds to Hazy. So something must have gone really wrong on this pit stop. Unfortunate for Maple, but it seems like he doesn't care because he has again an over 1 second gap towards the Toro Rosso behind him. Sorry, I'm saying Toro Rosso again. I'm just so used to commentating F1 219, where it was still a Toro Rosso team, so you know, muscle memory, brain memory, whatever, yeah, it comes back on me right now. Anyway, Maple, super quick, super solid, so again, very impressive drive here. Yeah, can get himself out of the DRS window, and now it's again only Pixel and Hazy trying to battle it out for their position and behind the Racing Point. And Pandikoi and Miku, look at that, those guys can't get enough of their fight. Oh my god, so like, it's a bit of a, you know, of a split one. I think Miku is pretty annoyed by all this overtaking because he's losing a lot of time towards Droppy, who he was fighting before for maybe P1. But on the other hand, he has some great action here with a driver who is assumedly the same pace as him. So yeah, and also we have to see something. So yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm really glad these two are battling it out, not just sitting behind each other and waiting. Meanwhile, Fox is going into the pits, getting released from those 13 lap old medium tires. So again, Fox is just, you know, doing really crazy shit here. Sorry, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. I apologize. Crazy things I wanted to say. Now getting onto the hard compound tires and only has to do 14 more laps on those. And now another straight with DRS is coming up, so another overtake might happen between those two guys. Oh, and it will probably happen because Pandekoi had a little bit of a, you know, very lusty rear end there, just getting out of itself. And now it was not much speed he could care onto the start-finish line. Extra DRS assistance for Miko as well. He's closing the line really aggressively, so this was kind of on the edge. And now Pandekoi seems to have a better exit this time though, and he's getting back. What a great racing action from those two. They're both using a lot of ERS. What is happening? They're still side by side, and Pandekoi has to yield for now. But he tried to stay away. Oh, this was really close. I think they even touched. Yes, Pandekoi lost a bit of time. And this allowed Maple, Hazy and Pixel, the big train of the 3 SOR, you know, milestones, getting closer to those. And Miko is now going in the pits. He has enough. He just has enough, or his tires have enough, sorry. One of those two things definitely happened. And now he's changing for his probably last compound of tires, but it's really obvious that he's not in the fight for the race win anymore. He might even not be in the fight for the podium positions anymore, which is really surprising and also kinda, yeah, gives me the feeling that he went for the wrong strategy here in this race. But he has still the opportunity to surprise us. I would be definitely surprised if he can still get on the podium in this race. KK Hunter picks up another 3-second time penalty. We have Maple, who is a really easy time to get past Pandekoi. I think Pandekoi just, you know, went out of the way because he knows that he's not really fighting for position. And we have Pixel going by Hazy, so there is some action on this lap. Hello! Pixel is now into P5. Hazy not really fighting there for this position. And they continue going within close proximity to each other, but again, the more those two are fighting, the further away they get from Maple. And ooh, there was some wheel banging. They were going side by side. Pixel left Hazy just enough space to survive, and Hazy said thank you, took this space and pushed himself into the 5th position. So wow, this is also some great racing action from those two. I'm really impressed again. Pandekoi is dropped out of the DRS window, so I guess his medium tires are falling yeah, out of their lifetime, getting to the end of what they should deliver. And we have Maple once again really quickly getting out of the DRS window, so I don't know, however he's doing that, he's really good in this particular thing, just getting out of the DRS window quickly, not giving the opponents an opportunity to get back on him. So yeah, very good, very smart driving style there. Very impressive. Okay. I need a little chunk of water, but I'm back with you now. Again, another probably 15 minutes of non-stop talking from me incoming. So we have R10 and KK Hunter trying to battle it out for P10 for the last point position in this race. And this is definitely interesting, but what is even more interesting is Hazy, Pandekoi and Pixel running in such close proximity of each other. So we have this train of 3 people, and I think Pandekoi at this current state of his tires is more blocking the 2 guys behind him than really fighting. And yeah, he notices this as well, lets them both through, even gets a 3-second time penalty for his fair play here. So yeah, this shouldn't have been done. He will be a little bit upset about that, I'm sure, but now he's going into the pits for his last tire compound, which will be probably mediums, I believe, and he will go on to the end on those, and let's see how far he will fall back. Pixel and Hazy. The never-ending love story continues here into the Sector 1 of the French Grand Prix. We have them both now soon going onto the long straight, and Pixel needs to stay within close proximity to be able to use the open rear wing and the extra speed he gets. Seems like he got through very good for through this section. but the speed is quite not enough to get by Hezi, so he stays behind in P5. And after Pandikoi pitted, I believe what we see here are the actual positions of this race, because from the tire situation no one seems to have to pit anymore, and this is R10 who spun. So R10 is out of the fight for P10 here, and even for P9 Pandikoi goes past KK Hunter, but it was an easy pass. He has fresh tires, he just came out of the pits and he had DRS. So Pandikoi in P9, KK Hunter back in P10, but he has 8.5 seconds of clean air to his back. And Jack will then try to go on the slightly hit R10. He might have really warm tires after his spin, and it seems like he stands no chance to defend, and both go wide. So R10 and Darius both go wide there and destroy a braking board. I don't really like to see that, so we need to investigate whether this was necessary or not. But anyway, Jack is now past those two into 11th position, and depending on KK Hunter's penalties, that might even be relevant for the finish standings. Pandikoi gets past Andres. It was an easy pass again. Fresh medium tires versus used hard tires is not that big of a deal to use. KK Hunter picks up another 3-second time penalty, so he has really to watch out to not drop out of the last point position. This could be crucial in the end. And what is actually happening in the front? We still have Futuristic running in P1. I didn't even notice. 18 lap old hard tires. He was on them right from the beginning of the race, but now the pace seems to drop off rapidly. We have a Droppy behind him on, a little bit fresher hard compound tires, who's catching up 3/10 in one sector. So I believe it will be the lap Futuristic goes into the pits. Yes, it is. I am a god of predictions. No, just kidding. And let's see how far Futuristic will drop back, and also what tires that he will change on, because theoretically I believe he could go onto the softs. I'm not sure whether or not they can last until the end, but it will definitely be interesting to see. We have our old couple of Pixel and Hezi fighting it out still. We have yellow flags. It was a Ferrari. And from the timings, it was KK Hunter. Yes, KK Hunter spun into the first sector. So this really puts him in danger to drop out of the top 10, while he has a Jack onto fresh medium tires without any time penalties running behind him. So this might be a really bad turnout of the race for him, but a really good turnout for Pixel, who has DRS, gets himself in front of Hezi, but cuts the chicane, gets a 3-second time penalty, but also kinda, was kinda fishy. If you overtake someone, then you cut chicanes. From a quick thought, I believe it was after the overtake, so probably there's no need to leave the AlphaTauri by, but still, speaking of fairness, it was not the cleanest of overtakes. Anyway, the battle continues between those two. And in front we have now Droppy 4.4 seconds in front of Maple. Maple again running a brilliant race in second positions again. No time penalties so far for him. And he has 5 laps fresher tires than Droppy. So also interesting whether or not he can use them to get closer to the AlphaTauri in the leading position and claim another race win. No, it's 6 or 7 laps to go from now, so it will be really hard, but everything is possible. People can make mistakes, there can be a safety car, many things can happen here. Futuristic, meanwhile, the man who was running for about 10 laps in first position switched now to the soft compound tires, so he's really confident he can make it to the end on those and starts his chase towards better positions. And also a really impressive race from him. So he and Fox, just by strategy, by the help of strategy, managed to get so far up in front. Fox made up 11 positions, so from P16 to P5. Again, a very amazing job by managing his tires, managing his strategy. Futuristic made up 6 positions, which is also really great. And now he has even the potential to make up more positions. And for some reason, we have a fight between Jack and Darius. So Jack dropped back towards KK and got also overtaken by Darius. So I believe there was a mistake from him involved. And this is also not good. This lowers his chances to get the last remaining point of this race. Hazy and Pixel still running within 2 or 3 tenths, while Futuristic picks up the fastest lap of the race. Also really crucial, gives him 1 extra championship points, so especially in the midfield wars, 1 point can be a real lot. So he will be happy about that, if no one will take it away from him in the remaining laps. Hazy and Pixel fighting for 3rd position as if this would be their life. So this is great action from those two. Yeah, mostly fair from what I've seen. Also, like, you know, overtaking back and forth, having the same strategy, just not letting up the thrill for us who are watching. So good job, you two. Thank you for making this race a bit more entertaining than it already is. Let's have a look on the time penalties. So we have Pixel having 6 seconds of time penalties and Hazy having only 5 for speeding in the pit lane. So for Hazy, it's basically enough just to stick into the DRS window and not letting Pixel get away. Meanwhile, Pixel has the difficult job to get away on a track with such long DRS straights. So this will be not an easy task, especially if, you know, the two guys have almost similar pace. Let's see if he can succeed with this. We have now Futuristic in very close proximity of Fox, as we know he's currently the fastest man on track and he has really fresh, soft tires. Meanwhile, Fox has hard tires? Yes, hard tires. So yeah, I believe this will not be a very hard fight because of the, you know, tire advantage that the Williams driver has. But still, let's watch the overtake. Maybe there will maybe some good defending is coming up from the Red Bull. Is that the case? It doesn't seem so. Fox just staying on his line, letting Futuristic do his thing. And now Futuristic is up into P5. Great race from him once again. So, further on the time penalties. Futuristic and Fox are free of time penalties. Miku, who was running in the top 3 in the beginning and now fell down back to P7. Can't really use his tires here in this stage, so probably it will stay with P7. A bit disappointing after his good start. He has only 3 seconds of time penalties, so he should not fall further down the order. But yeah, still things can happen. Panakoi is running in P8 with 6 seconds of time penalty, but Andres is 9 seconds behind him, so nothing will happen there for now. We have then KK Hunter on P10, closing up to Andres actually, but he has 6 seconds of time penalty, so he needs to drive out 3 seconds of a gap. We have then Darius behind with 12 seconds of time penalties, so he's definitely, or most definitely, out of the race for P10, but Jack doesn't have a penalty so far, so currently he would overtake KK Hunter and claim the last remaining point of this race. Interesting. You see, not getting any penalties is really important in this game. So, big advice, just don't. It sounds easy, it actually is easy, but you know, I know it from myself. If you're driving, you're trying to push as much as you can, just, you know, racing, overtaking people, doing a lap times. Yeah, sometimes you just forget, or like, it's not like you forget, it's not like you're even doing it on purpose or something, but you know, if you're always right on the edge, there is some point where you just get a bit over the edge. It just happens. It's like, you know, racing incidents. You try to do your best and sometimes you just fail. But we've seen over and over again the people who manage to stay out of time penalties most often end up in front of the people who actually do get time penalties. And now it's an overtake from Hazy on Pixel, so finally he made it stick, got enough speed to get by the Mercedes and reclaim P3. And as I said, Pixel has 1 second more of time penalties, so he has an even harder job to do now. He needs to get past Hazy and drive out 1 complete second, which seems kinda too difficult at this point. Now DRS assistance on this long straight, but his ERS is not in overtake mode, so probably he was not supposed to overtake the car in front anyway. Meanwhile, Maple closed up to 2.3 seconds to the race leader, both not having penalties, so Maple has some big work to do still if he wants to get the race win, but at least he puts a bit of pressure to the man in front, to Droppy, so let's see if this can get interesting still. We have KK Hunter, so he's slowly but steadily catching up to Andres in P9 and now even has DRS. So he might get a track position, but we remember he has 3 seconds more of time penalty than the Haas driver, so this will be a difficult task as well to get some more points out of this. Futuristic running in in 5th position, but on the soft compound tires is getting closer to P3 and 4, but with 2 laps remaining I doubt that he can get close enough, although regarding time penalties, he actually is now in front of both. So standings by now, Futuristic, who was split 2 in last season, would actually claim a split 1 podium. This is amazing. I really would be happy for him if this happens. Not mocking other drivers or anything, but like, you know, rising up into the big boy league from split 2 and then instantly, or like after a couple of races, claiming a podium. This would be huge, so yeah, I'll be really happy if he can manage that, but we still have a couple of laps to go and a couple of mistakes still can be made. KK Hunter now at the back of Andres. Finally he will get DRS assistance again, but I think 7/10 is a bit too much for trying an overtake, so possibly in the last lap he will go for the move, or even, sorry, not at all. And we have Droppy, I think, with some unlapping action on Collini, who is disconnected for a while now, as well as Skin Tony. So we have 2 drivers who were disconnected for a very long time. Very sorry for those guys. I don't know what happened there with the connection once again, but really unfortunate if people can't really participate in the race because of connection issues. This is one of the worst things that can happen in in virtual racing. So yeah, I'm sorry for those guys. Come on, Hazy, scenario 7, someone says in the chat. Yeah, so Hazy will probably remain in front of Pixel just because of time penalties, but I'm pretty sure those race drivers want to stay in front on track. It's not enough for them to just, you know, be there in time penalties. Oh, and Pixel picks up another 3-second time penalty, so there was some kind of hard battling there as he tried to do the, you know, the switchback, the back overtake. Pixel blocked him off, but by doing that claimed another 3-second time penalty, and this will definitely bring Hazy in front of him. But as I already mentioned, they have Futuristic behind them as well, and he is in no time penalties, so right now Futuristic will be third. But we go back to the race leader, who is now crossing the start-finish line, claiming his victory. Flawless race, no time penalties. Maple a great P2 here again. We have yellow flags for some reason, I don't know what happened there. we have Futuristic actually really jumping on P3, so his first podium. Congratulations, Hezi in 4. Great race from him. Fox jumps on P5 because of time penalties. Again, a great strategical move from Fox. Pixel falls down onto P6 because of the 9-second time penalty. So yeah, kinda bad move from him to gather that many. Miku P7, yeah, probably disappointed after running in the top 3 at the beginning. Pandikoy still claims P8, also was running far in front. Can't really claim the position he would have wanted. Andres gets his first points for SOR in 9th position. Congratulations to him. Jack 6 thousandths behind Andres. Oh my god, this must be disappointing. He is in P10 though, and KK Hunter loses out on time penalties once again, drops out of the points, only P11. Very disappointing. P12 Darius, we have P13 R10, P14 closes up Lepson, and then we have the 2 disconnected guys, Colini and Skintoni. Very unfortunate, both will be probably classified as DNF or DSC for disconnected. Fox driver of the day, I don't really agree. He made up the most positions, but for me it's still Futuristic climbing his probably, I think it's his first SOR split 1 podium. Yeah, really happy for him, and he also claims the fastest lap point, so 16 points here for Futuristic instead of 15. Let's go down the order. Droppy from P2, flawless race, gets onto P1 after Phoenix's retirement. We have Maple in P2, again brilliant racing from him from P5 up to P2. We have Futuristic in P3 closing out the podium. We have Hezi from P10 to P4, also pretty stable, pretty nice driving there. We have Fox in P5 from P16, amazing job again, just fought himself through the complete grid and finish up the top 5. Pixel down into P6, he could have catch up more towards Phoenix in this race, now it's only 8 points, so maybe a bit frustrating for him. Still nice fight with Hezi, so thank you for that. Miku up in P7 after starting from P3, a bit disappointing. Pandikoy dropping down from P4 to P8, also a bit disappointing. Andres, congratulations, first points for SOR, 2 of them he gets. Jack 6 thousandths behind Andres, again very sorry. KK Hunter 11, Darius 12, R10 13, Lepson 14, Skintoni, Colini, Paldi, Ancor and Phoenix didn't finish the race. So, that was it from the French GP. I don't know why the lobby is not continuing. Anyway, I thank you a lot for watching. You had some action here with me today. Not the, you know, most action-filled track on the calendar regarding overtakes, but I think we still had some close head-to-head battles. We had a lot of position changes, and we have also a lot of changes in the driver championship, so make sure to check out the website. It's sor.thespicy.hu, I believe. Or if you don't find it right away, just Google SOR, I think you will come to it. Yeah, thank you for watching, thank you, see you next Tuesday again for, I don't know which track, just look into the stream and you will notice. Good night and see you next time.